morning, evening, whatever it may be where you're at. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more today. We got a unseasonably warm day today. It's supposed to hit 80. Funny thing is, it's supposed to be down in the 20s in 2 days. Gotta love the southern weather. Trees are getting ready. Leaves are falling like crazy. The cracking in the background that subject sound like gunshots is acorns. Like that. They are falling off on the tin roof and sheds. And you're ahead if you happen to be under them. There's a bumper crop this year. Sounds like it's raining with all the leaves falling. But y'all are here for that. So, let me flip. Today, we're going to pull the spark plugs out, put a little Marvel Mystery Oil down in there. We're going to investigate the magneto, see if we can get some spark to happen. Helper cat, nuisance, whatever you want to call her. But she's going to be here in the way. And always wanting more attention. But, like I said, we're going to pop spark plugs out, pour some Marvel Mystery Oil down in there. Let me address a few things from the last video. Y'all saw me wash the dirt daubers out of their intake and down out the bottom of the air cleaner. There's a discussion on the last video between me and another guy. The air intake comes out here. Air goes into the bowl, which is laying right there. I haven't put it back on. Goes down, goes through the oil, and goes back up in here. Now, as you can see, it's grungy. That's the screen. There's screens all through here. That's what catches the dirt and lets it fall and settle back in the bowl. Now, the question was raised. This was full of dirt daubers. Now, if you go back and look at the video, it was a loose here. Now, I still haven't tightened it up because I need to make a gasket to go there. This tube here had dirt daubers in it. I only had dirt daubers to right there. The rest of this was open. To answer the questions that were asked, there's no dirt daubers in there. They didn't get that far. They don't like to go down little tubes like this. We basically had 2 chambers of spider and larva. One here, one right about there. This was filled up from this end. It was filled up to right about here. For some reason they didn't go past the bend. They did not build where the old hose was cut, and up in there, I'll get a flashlight. Sorry, bear with me. Up in there were no dirt daubers. That's where it goes back in here. All of this from up in there down to this bend had oil residue in it from the oil bath filter. They didn't like that. So, there was nothing in here. Anybody else that's concerned, if I spun this engine over, oh, and the dirt daubers that were in the carburetor. You have a butterfly here for the choke. Right back here, okay, is the butterfly for your throttle, which is on the back side of the carburetor. That one is closed. So they couldn't get through. There was nothing on this side of the carburetor, just past the choke butterfly. The only reason they were there is because this tube was not on the tractor. So, anybody that's concerned about that, let me alleviate. There's no dirt on that side of anything. I do still have dirt stopping this up. I'm not really concerned about that because that's a valve. I just need it to pull from here down, which I'm going to mess with later. Now, spark plugs out of it. I'm also going to take this cover off and see if I can rig up a switch so I can stand on the other side of the tractor and hit a button and make the starter spin. This will also let me turn the flywheel by hand and get the oil that I'm going to put in the cylinders moved around. So let me get y'all on the stand. I'm going to get something to drink because it's a little bit warm. And we will get to it. Oh, another thing, people. Don't buy Yetis. That's had ice in it since last Thursday. 8 days. There's still ice in there. Cheap igloo. Well, cheaper igloo than Yeti. That is a very annoying dog. So, that's still there. Probably gonna crank that up later. It needs to run. I hadn't had it out and drove it in a while. And as I said, there's some stuff gonna leave, like that. Finally got this running to where I feel comfortable selling that. So, let me get y'all on the stand and get some tools and let's get started. All right, you're supposed to use non-detergent oil in there. I ain't got any on hand. I had that in my truck, and as you can see, it has leaked. So now there's a mess in the back of this. So I used it. It'll work just as good for this particular part of the application. Matter of fact, the stuff in there might actually break down some of the goo in there and let it drain down, because this has detergents in it that are designed to keep your engine clean. Old non-detergent oil was just oil. It didn't have all those cleaners and fancy stuff in there. So we're going to use this, and I'll change it at some point. It's not going to hurt anything. It will do its job. It'll make that oily and catch the dirt. And I'm going to put y'all on the cameraman and stick this on, then we'll take that off. Alright, there's that. There's a spring in there on the fan. I wonder what that's for. Whew. I gotta wash all that out. Let me move y'all a little this way and back. There we go. Well, I've pulled the spark plug out of this side and it looks pretty good. Look down in the cylinder, everything in there looks good, no rust or anything. I bet that comes off. Still won't give me access to this switch like I want. I bet that gives you access to put a hand crank on it. Somebody put the wrong bolt in this one. Okay, that ain't as simple as I thought it was. Y'all are staring at my butt. Gotta do a little figuring here. This rod is attached down on the bottom. So let me figure out what's going on. I know that penetrating product that I praise, stuff works amazingly. Okay, look at the dirt daubers. Oh, that does come off. So that does mean you can put a hand crank on this, I'm sure. Yep, it is designed for a hand crank. Although, looking at that, that might be dangerous as all get out. So, that goes down and kicks the starter, which is made down there. So I can't put a switch on it like I want to. That sucks. But I can turn it over by hand. Pop the spark plug out of the other side. Alright, I got the plugs out. I have sprayed WD-40 in the cylinders. This is rotating stuff you don't want to get a hold of, but alright, she's freeing up good. Lubed everything a little bit. So now, question is, are we sparkling? Finding a good ground. Do not see any sparks, which is what I was thinking. So we're going to move sides, go to the other side, and check things out. I have a sneaky suspicion that somebody had a battery hooked up backwards on this tractor, but we'll see. All right, let's see. I'll take the distributor cap off. I did check to make sure this side wasn't firing either. And it wasn't. So I need to make a new gasket. This one's broke. I guess those two screws will stay in there. Alright, let me show y'all a closer thing of this. Inside of the distributor cap. This is what I was missing, was the rotor button. I ordered it, stuck it on there the other day just to try it, and didn't get anything. This is the coil condenser, and if I get it to focus, points. Now, on most vehicles they use the, and this goes old school, new ones are a little different, use the electrical system of the car to give the coil condenser all voltage. With a magneto, this has basically got a generator in here, right back in there, that generates the electricity for the coil and the condenser to make spark. These points open up, and by lobe, doesn't want to focus. 2 lobes on this right here. Let me pull this off. There's 2 lobes on this that when, yeah, you can see when it goes over that lobe, it opens the points, and that's what makes it spark. Now, the trick to this is I need this to spin, but that right there is where I gotta make it spin. I was really hoping I could put a push button so I could stand over here and do it, but we'll make do. Love bugs are out. Y'all don't know what love bugs are. They're annoying little black flying insects that come out this time of year because it's mating season for them. They like to get in your face, and they get on the front of your car, and their toxins are acidic, and they'll peel the paint off your car if you don't wash them off. They're really bad around lakes. Anyway, back to this. All right, go on, love bug. I found something already. Ease the engine over, and I don't want to focus this close. As you can see, that is on the lobe of the thing now. If you look right down here, what? The points aren't apart, so they're gapped wrong. I'm going to set the gap. You loosen this screw and this screw, and twist them a little bit and set your gap so that these things open. That's what causes it to spark. Having all sorts of technical difficulties with my tripod today. Now, you're supposed to use a filler gauge or a box top to set these properly. We're going to just tighten them down right there and rotate and make sure they're closed. Alright, we are closed. So, man, I need to be... Alright, let's see if we get... Alright, I'm not seeing sparks, so we got more issue than just that. But we getting somewhere. Yes, I did just stump a bug. I gotta take a break for a second because somebody's showing up with a limb saw to cut a limb that is falling on the power line going into my house real quick. So I'll be back. I'm gonna take a break, go get some lunch. Old 68 needs to be run. Alright, now I watched a video on this the other night, and here, there, okay, that one's supposed to be. Okay, coil test good. So, I'm not entirely sure how to test the magneto itself. Alright, we're going to put this back on there and just try it. There's a good news bee buzzing that is driving me insane. Alright, we are getting a very, very weak spark. Very weak. That's a little bit better. So we have spark now. Let me fit some spark plugs back in it and we'll see if we can put some fuel in here. Alright, here's where we got to on this. I didn't record a lot because I had somebody show up, and I'm not going to record somebody else for YouTube that doesn't want to be on YouTube. So what we did, I got it to spark very, very weakly. Put gas in the carburetor, it drew it in, ended up flooding it, which is not a bad thing because I was using 2-stroke mix, and lubed up the cylinders really well. Cleaned the spark plugs, got them dry, got them sparking. And there again, very, very weakly. And we tried it again. Tractor's not spinning real fast. These things don't. I just don't think they do. So we hooked it up to a boost pack. I've already got an 8-volt battery in here. We hooked it up to a 12-volt boost pack. Got a little bit more out of it. And I think I heard it try to hit maybe 3 or 4 times. It's just, there's not enough spark to get it to bust off. We might, if we could hook a chain to it and drag it and really get it spinning real good, get it to build enough to go. But at this point, I'm going to go do some research. Camera's over here, not over there. Go do a little research on it and see if it's possible to remagnetize the magneto. I'm about to get attacked by a cat then. Told you, can't do anything without the cat. So anyway, I'm gonna go spend some time on piece of paint. Gonna go spend some time on YouTube and dig around. There's a couple people around here, older generation, that has fooled with these tractors a lot, and I have a phone number to one of them. I'm probably gonna call him. Actually, I have a phone number of his son, so I'm gonna call him, and if I can't figure something out. I don't know how much a magneto cost. I may just order one. But for now, everything spins over. No dirt in the cylinders. It's drawing gas through the carburetor, which is a good thing. It's got compression. If I can get spark, it should run. Told you I was going to get attacked. So, I'm going to call it a day. I've got other things I need to do before I lose daylight. Battery's charged back up on my leaf blower, and I'm trying to get some leaves out of the backyard. So, I will catch y'all in the next video. This one really didn't do anything, didn't learn anything, and, ow, quit. I want you to pet them, but they want to bite you with their feet. So, cat wants to show. You want to be on the show? Hey, cat. Yeah. Everybody needs some help, right? Yeah. So yeah, I will go order some more parts. Figure out if I can take this magneto apart and remagnetize it. That's what I'm hoping I can do. I've seen them do it on like hit and miss motors, but they're made different than this. But if I can do that, I'll remagnetize it and probably get the spark out of it. Don't you go to needing on my ow. This is probably the most entertaining part of the video. So, sorry I didn't get to see anything interesting today. But we will make this run. And probably going to pick up another one. There's a Model A across the road that I may not be able to get, but I might get to get running later on once I learn how to work on these a little bit more. This is the first one of these I've ever filled. So, y'all have a good day, good night, good morning, whenever you're watching this. And if anybody knows how to remagnetize one of those magnetos that's watching this, hit me up, let me know. I don't even know if it's possible, but if it is, let me know. Y'all have a good one. You know, sometimes you just can't leave things alone, like the leaves. That's just out of my backyard. That is a huge, huge pile. That's just from right here. Anyway, it's the day after. Look at all that needs to be pressure washed. I came out here. I needed to check the antifreeze in that. It's supposed to get down to freezing this week, so I cranked it up and backed it out, topped it off with my helpers are being idiots. Topped it off with some antifreeze, and you know, it's like, well, I need to check those points, because maybe I set them wrong. Because I looked on YouTube last night and saw that they're supposed to set at 15 thousandths. I knew I was close, because I've done enough stuff. I know about what 15 thousandths looks like. But, you know, get down. Leave that cat alone. I'm going to tear my motorcycle cover up because they're in it playing. Get out of there. Anyway. Let's see what I'm dealing with. Cat. Under there. Get out from under there. It's a really expensive seat on that bike, and she is trying to destroy it. Anyway, back to this. I reset the points and set them at 16 thousandths because my filler gauges that I've got here skip from 13 to 16. 16, we'll set it at that. And I shot her with some ether and spun it over, and it hit one time. Lifted the little plastic bucket up a little bit. I was like, she might try. So I got 2-stroke gas out. Let me show y'all. Flip you here. Sediment bowl on the side of the carburetor. Take this off and you can fill the bowl up with gas right there. So I got my 2-stroke gas out. Filled this up. Choked the crap out of it. Started spinning it. And she still spins slow. So I need to crank that up and check the antifreeze and all that good stuff in that too before this cold snap. So I fired that up, ran jumper cables over here, and gave it a little more juice. And yes, it's a 6-volt system. It's a 6-volt starter. The biggest thing you got to worry about is not overheating the starter. So I wouldn't stay on it very long. But I kept hitting it, and she hit twice. But poop poop, like we're getting somewhere. So I kept giving it gas and kept messing with it, and she starts to smoke out the exhaust. And I'm like, we're starting to build something here. I think what happened was the two-stroke mixing, pre-mixed gas with oil in it. Got in there on the rings and started loosening them up, and the compression came up. So it finally started to hit. And as you'll see a little bit later, because I was messing around. I wasn't really intending on actually getting this thing to crank today. But once it started, I got excited and did not think to go in and get my... They're going to destroy my motorcycle cover over there. Get my camera and set it up and let y'all see this process go on. But it took about, I'm going to say 30 minutes before she finally started to hit. And it fired up, runs good. I've shut it down, cranked it up several times. It's still a little bit hard to crank. I'm probably gonna pull the carburetor off and actually go through it, because I'm sure it's not in the greatest of shape, but it runs. I had to sit here and bottle feed that sediment bowl while it was running, because gas tanks, I haven't stuck a vacuum down there and sucked a little bit of stuff that's in it out yet. So it's gonna be cold this week. I'm probably not gonna mess with it in the evenings, but maybe next weekend. I can get the tank. I'd like to get the tank cleaned out this week. If it's warm enough one evening, I'm gonna clean it out, put gas in it, see if I can get it to crank off of that, because I need to get a tube in this so I can get it off the trailer. And plus, where it fell through the front, so I can put new boards on this, because I need to haul a few things. And I replaced the outside boards on this trailer a couple of years ago. But anyway, as y'all are fixing to see, the video is going to be a little bit different because I recorded it with my phone that I've done my other videos with instead of this one. And you'll see, it runs, and you probably hear the excitement in my voice. But anyway, sorry I didn't get everything on video for y'all. It really wasn't that exciting. I really hate y'all missed it coming to life, because I should have got that, and I apologize to everybody. But yeah, live and learn. These things get better as they go, and we won't have many projects. I'm gonna have a short come up to explain some other things that's going on, so y'all be looking for that. And I'm gonna get this, do a little more work to it. I'll get the tank out, and I'll try to video all this stuff. But I need a shop over here. I'm thinking about just walling this shed up for right now, so I have somewhere this winter to work on stuff. This thing here, let me flip y'all. This used to be a tarp shed. Ignore the junk. That is a muscadine vine that is on there, and I really wanted it to go over the top, and it didn't. And I've been threatening to remove it, but it's going to come down. It hasn't produced muscadines in about 4 years. So I'm gonna remove it, and we're going to have to do something. I need a shop. I'm gonna move this and probably put something here and clean all this mess up. That's a generator I need to get running. So I'm going to do something about this, where they're trying to destroy my motorcycle, because more on there. wants to chase her. And yeah, anyway. So the next thing you see is going to be the tractor running. It's not a long clip, but it sounds pretty good. And I'll see y'all next time. It runs. Finally got the point set and got the rings loosened up, got some compression in it.